Hello, everyone, for the first quarterly update for 2020. We have a lot of features to cover, so stay tuned. Okay, in our agenda today, we are going to cover the following. We are going to show you NERS enhancement, and based on usability testings, we are going to show you how Primo user can have an improving experience in mobile devices. We will do a demo on that as well. Also, as part of next item in the agenda, as part of the product openness, we are now allowing integration with third party or vendor that have its own search engines such as Solar and would like to expose this material into Primo. They can now implement a layer. We call it a webhook, a search webhook, and this generic capability is open and customer will be able to enable that. Upon demand and use case, I will show you a demo working against an early adapter vendor that wanted to have such. Also, another NERS enhancement is ability to have the cursor or the focus in the search box. We added in the classic UI. We are now adding configuration to allow it in the new UI. It's not with the out of the box, and I will show you and explain. Another improvement we are doing to the My Library card and to the My Request, allowing the patron more easily manage the request by adding a filter to show the request by their request types. And working with the Alma team, now Alma added a capability to support local extension for community zone records. We will show how this can affect. We supported that in the discovery, and we will show an example for use case for such a capability. In addition, in the area of the analytics, we are also now providing usage to support to help you better prioritize the citation styles that you are exposing to your patron, and we'll show you how we are doing that. And also, we have many Primo VE updates to share with you, so please stay tuned with. Okay, before we are starting, just let's go with the release schedule. So the sandbox for the Primo February was this week, January 19, and it's expected to come for the multi-tenant production on February 2 and for the on-premises on February 16. As you can see also here, the Primo VE for January, February, and March. February also was rolled out this week. Okay, now let's start. So we add this as a NERS enhancement, and we also did a usability testing and understand that a few changes need to be adjusted in Primo in order to better support the users in mobile devices. So based on this usability testing and working with customers, we are now introducing the following changes, and I will do a demo for that. So this is the list, and I will show in the next slides specifically about the changes. What we are recommending, because some of the changes may affect customization that you are doing, we recommend you to test your customization on your sandbox. We also recommend to go into, if you want to be more technical in the details, we add a change list in the developer network, and I will show you now what we are actually did. I just want to share in terms of timeline, this enhancement is being released both for Primo VE and both for Primo within the February release. So those are the changes. One of the changes that we did is we used to have the errors when going and searching for the searching to action to apply. If I want to email, I want to export to another citation manager. So what the user used to do is to go with the error. As you can see, it's too wide. The error is not so user friendly. We got a lot of complaint on that. So we now decided to change this by removing the errors and exposing all of the action that are available in the send to area action. So this is one enhancement that we did with this release. And we know that and we did see customer changing the way the send to actions is configured. So please test that. Okay. In addition to that, we also supported the navigation. We did it for the desktop. Now we added those arrows in the mobile device as well. So now it will be you can easily go to the next or previous record within the Primo full display in mobile device. Okay, next thing that we did is we got feedback, and also we saw the usage that mobile user tend to think that this icon, which is reflecting the advanced search, was the one to filter by, and they didn't manage to see the tweak my result here at the button. So what we did is we just take the advanced search icon into the user area because we think it could be less used within the mobile user, and making the filter more clear and more visible by displaying here below the search bar as an icon. Once we decided to go with the approach of the icons below the search bar, we also change the other functionality that we are providing for signed users, such as personalize and save queries. So we also made those button at the mobile more mobile adjusted by adding them as an icon. So this is an example for the save query. We also have an example for the personalize icon to be shown there. Okay, so this is another change that we did. And okay, yeah, and so we make the tweak my results and move the advanced search. And we also, as you can see here, and I will elaborate it, we supported now the apply actions on the mobile device as well, on the brief result as well. What you can see here is another improvement that you see. This is the way that the facets are looking before the change, and this is the way we are improving the visibility of the facet in the mobile. And also we increase here the span, so there will be no mistake, allowing user either to select one facet value to apply on or to perform a multi-select with no mistake by selecting the value, just making it more clear and more usable with your finger to multi-select here. So this is another improvement we make. And as I said, in continuously to the previously released apply action on the brief result. So now if you are clicking here on the checkbox here, the patron will get into a selection mode in the brief display. So there will be an offset to the records, as you can see here, and you will be able to multi-select the records and apply action on top of that. You can close it also with the X over there. And when selecting the action, those are the actions that we are going to be seen. I would like to share with you a quick demo for that. Actually, I already prepared it here. So what we are doing here, we can see now a mobile Primo in the mobile device. As I can see, the tweak my result is now more visible. Now I can actually apply filters here. We also planned now in the next releases to make it clear to the user that filter is now activated by changing the color. We didn't manage to do that way to that release, but we think to also imply the user that this is active one. As I said, we are also selecting, applying the multi-selection, and I can now choose to either email. I can choose to email the results, and this is now better. Now, if I'm going into the full display, as I said, I can easily navigate. I can easily navigate to the next record, as I said. And also, if I choose to export this record to one of the citation manager, I can easily find them, and as all are now expanded here. Back to the search results. As I mentioned, oops. We moved the advanced search to make it more clear here. And we also did some bug fixes, and we are also thinking to do more in the next release. But the major changes that we did are releasing now in the February release. And as I said, asking you to see that your customization are working with it. Okay, next. Before we are going to the exposed webhook, I also want to have you note that for the action, we decided to do the change of removal of the arrows not only to the in the mobile device, but also in the desktop. So a customer will be able to show all of the send to actions over there as well. Okay. The other feature that we want to share with you is the ability to expose the ability that now we are exposing a way to have another integration, to support another integration scenario in Primo. So if you have a collection, a regional collection, that you want to have you want all of the customer within this region to share a huge collection. And we did work with the German community where they have a union collection and solar index for their union collection, and they wanted to have these collections for all of the German customers. So as early adapter testing this search webhooks, we work with them. So they have their external search engine Solar, and they develop the layer, what we call the search webhook, that know how to take the results from their search engine, the external search engine, and translate it into a language, into a response that through Primo interface knows how to read. So what we are showing here is a way to have Primo calling external search engine using REST, using a configurable API, and read the response as it expects to get, as if it was the Primo Search REST API returning that. So this is a capability that used to be available for local Primo customer in the past. It used to call the fair node adapter. Now in the world, in the cloud world, we cannot let customer upload jars or code into the cloud services. So we choose to have a search webhook as a way to call API and support such an integration scenario. So this is the way. This is coming in Primo for February release and will come in the Primo VE in August release. I want to share with you the demo for that. So what we are going to see is our integration with GVI, which is this German regional German external solar index that union all of their collection. And what we are getting here is results that look like PNX that were translated by this search engine into a PNX. Also work as providing us facets, and we are supporting that only not in a blended format, but only in a dedicated search webhook. And if I open a full record, you will see the detail of the records. And in order to allow access to that, you can use the link section in order to go and get into the results, actual results, or the full text or other needs that you want to expose. So this is the general capability, and there are a few use cases, and you are welcome to go if you have such a need to develop such a capability. We are providing two different documentation. One is how to develop such a search webhook, how to develop this layer. This is the link here. And there is another one, how to set up this search webhook given when someone else implemented it, how to make it available in your own Primo. Okay. Next is the nurse enhancement to allow the cursor and the focus immediately when you are entering Primo. User in the idea and in the nurse wanted to allow their patron to start immediately typing the term when the focus is set on the search bar. In order to allow that, you need to enable a configuration for that. We are not providing that out of the box with Primo. Out of the box, we think that for accessible user, the best practice is to go and show them the skip links when they are tabbing. So keyboard navigation users will be able to show skip links, and they will be able to show the site and the main menu and the sign area. So it's really up to the site how your site is configured, whether you have those main menu entries, whether you want the site in to be first, to choose if to put the cursor in the search box or to, as we did today, as we are doing with the out of the box, to allow it in the top right and with the navigation. So this is this capability that need to be enabled, need to be configured, is released in Primo in February release and for Primo VE in the March release. And it will work, if you apply that, it will work on all of the search interface, journal search, database search, browse. For the newspaper search, it will work with the next release. It is a leftover for us. So you apply it once and it will affect all of the search pages. Okay, next enhancement is the ability to allow the patron more easily filter, manage their request. So you can see here that there is a new request type drop down. This list is being built dynamically per the list of the current request that I have. So if I have hold request, photocopy request, I will be able to show the value. If I add now a purchase request, if I will add a purchase request, it will be added if I have it here. So this is the ability to filter and show and better manage my request in the My Library card. We saw it coming in the idea. In the idea, there are also additional requests to let the customer request by the status. We would like to hear your feedback. We are not closing this idea. We would like to hear your feedback about whether this was and was enough, was satisfied, or additional filter can be added. Okay, another thing that we are adding to the analytics and is coming also from the idea is to help you better prioritize based on usage the citation style. So what we are adding is up to 20 actions, like you're clicking on citation style 1, citation style 2. So if user click on citation style on MLA, we will count the clicks per citation style 1, and if you are clicking on Harvard, we will count the clicks for citation style 5. So you can generate a report that can tell you which were the most popular citation styles. You can have in your report, using the OBI, you can label those citation styles to be the one that are reflected in Primo. So you cannot to better help you understand which style specifically is the most used, and based on that report, you can better prioritize the order. So this enhancement is coming with Primo February release for Primo VE My release. Okay, and as I mentioned, we also providing Alma. We worked with the Alma team, and Alma now provide the capability to support local extensions, support local fields, so I can have a community zone record, and I can customize and I can localize one of the field and have it for either display or for search. As you can see in the example, we can see here a record from the community zone, which we added the local extension here, and we can use it for display. So this is supported with Primo February release. For Primo VE March release. Actually, for Primo VE, it's going to be supported February release for a single institution. For full support with also consortia, it's going to be released with the March release. The use case for Primo customer, to be able to use that, we wanted to mention that the database category now can use the database records from the community zone, and you can agree as a community to have those local fields to instruct the community that if they want to have a category set on the database record, they can achieve that by configure a local extension. So if they configure category, it won't affect the entire community, and they will be able to build the category tree combining for local database and community zone database. And I think that when the database category was released, those issues were raised, and now it's good. It's been supported and need to be work as a community to better work and localize that information. Okay, so this is about that. Now I want to go so this was about the Primo February release and also enhancements that are coming from Primo VE. And now I would like to be more specifically what is coming in the next quarter for Primo VE. And in order to help understand that, I just put the item and also the calendar that it's being released. Of course, there are more items that are being released in Primo VE that I mentioned in the upper slides. So just try to cover that. So with the Primo VE, what we've released in January is the ability to have the item level display of general electronic services. I'm going to highlight that in a dedicated slide. We also, for Primo VE, improve the handling of suppressed records. So, for example, if you have an electronic record with no active portfolio, it used to be displayed in the Primo VE. Now those records won't be searchable and displayed. So, a better handling for suppressed records. Also, in the Primo VE January release, we released the voice search assistant. It was previously released in Primo and now also with the January available for Primo VE customer. I want to mention for both Primo customer and Primo VE customers that we are going to enhance the voice search assistant to support to let you choose which languages to allow for the voice search. So this is an enhancement that is coming in the next quarter. Give you control for multilingual interfaces to support which languages, to define the languages that we are supporting. So far, it sticks to the user interface languages. So this is enhancements for both Primo and Primo VE that is expected to come. Okay. Another enhancement for the Primo VE in the February release is the improved format for the save alert email. So now the email, the save query, when you choose to have save query and you have you can notify, you can turn on a notification alert. Now the format out of the box for that was improved. And in Primo VE, we are also taking advantage of the platform using the Alma letters configuration to help customize the saved alert email in very flexible way. So the Alma letter configuration is giving us a template, and Primo VE customer can choose to configure and customize that. So this thing is going with the Primo VE February release. For Primo customer, we also adding for the February release ability to customize the saved search alert email. It's more limited using a mapping table. As I mentioned, for the Primo VE, it's going to use the Alma letter configuration to do that. Okay, and the highlight, and it's in the middle of this release of this quarter, is the ability to have the Alma Digital Viewer. within the full display. I will do a demo for that and we'll talk about it. And I will talk why in Primo VE it's take advantage of the platform. It's also coming soon also of the Primo customer, but we will talk about that in next slide. Another thing that is being released in Primo VE Merge release is the view it from other institution. We'll also mention that. And next item to mention is the ability to improve the browse by offer name and browse by subject for Primo VE. We are using the Alma platform. Alma are doing improvement to the browse API to allow browse by offer only. So if I have books by William Shakespeare, uh, and books about William Shakespeare, those were confused. When I tend to do browse by author, I also get books about William Shakespeare. Now it will be, with the March release, it's going to be only books browsed by author. This capability improvement is coming with the improvement of the browse API in the Alma. So this is also coming soon. And also, with regarding to the analytics, we are starting the upgrade to OBI and supporting the data visualization as a beta phases. Starting of March release, you are seeing that in the Alma release note. You're going to see that also for the Primo VE customer, and also next quarter going to be planned for Primo customers. So pay attention to the migration and note that. Another thing that we are also mentioning in the Primo VE is more more option to customize the course material as a dedicated search scope, more option using manipulation on the course code, so it's also coming. And I want to mention, as part of all of the effort that we are doing for the exposing material to Google, now for the Primo VE customer, we are providing an integration profile that provide them access to the Google Search Console. Previously, in the last quarter, we added to the Primo VE's sitemap the ability to publish. Now, for specific customer that have their DNA Ex Libris group in their DNS, they will be able to track the coverage using the Google Search Console. And in the March release, we are also supporting the improved email template when the patron send the template. So this is the schedule and an overview of what is coming. And I want to highlight the highlighted slides. I want to go into a little bit more details. So we discussed the item label display of general electronic services. What you can see here per physical item. Now there is a way in Primo VE to configure a general electronic service. It used to be work only on the top. Now can be displayed and configured to be displayed per the physical item. What you can benefit when heading when defining such a general electronic service on such a level, you can benefit and use the item level information as part of that. So you can send on the URL information such as barcode or location taken from the item level and send it and combine that in the URL. So this is one way to use it. Another way that you can use it is you can also use the item level information to determine and set availability rules. So you can choose whether to display this service based on a specific data on the item level, such as location, only show that for this location. So this is with the general release in Primo VE. Now, the highlight that we worked closely with the Alma digital team, it is coming first in Primo VE March release, will be coming Primo for the May release, is the ability to have a quick access to digital items. As you can see, we are is all of the approach of saving clicks to the user and showing them in immediate access to the material that they want. We are going to have the digital viewer embedded within the full display. We can do that because the Alma digital team with the Alma March release are releasing an improved Alma digital viewer. So as you can see, an immediate way to use that. We can also, patron can use this to download the material. And we are adding this quick access here service, and this can be determined and better order per your selection. This is an opt-in service, and it also raised in the idea exchange. It also is part of the strategy of improving the Alma digital viewer. So we work together and to allow you this easy way to the access. And I would like to show you this beautiful feature. So we will start with the images. So we will have a quick access. As you can see, we defined a quick access here. We set it on top of the view online. You can set it whatever, and you can see here now that actually you can see the image. You can, if you have few images, you can scroll using the arrow. You can use the download, and if you want to go to the actual digital viewer for more information, more capability, there is a link out for that. Another thing is that allow you to see PDF file within your full display. So the quick access service, as you can see, is now showing the PDF and immediately access to the PDF and ability to and the ability to download, as I mentioned. Addition, you can also see how the audio are look like. So the quick access is actually giving me a player, an audio, and way to listen, to activate that and listen here, as you can see. And last that I wanted to share with you is the videos. So you will have a player within the full display. Within the full display as the quick access service. I want to share that this is coming first on the desktop. For mobile, it will be on next releases. So the adjustment to the mobile was still not fully adjusted. So we are starting with desktop. I also want to share that in Primo VE, as again, being part of the platform, we managed to have this viewer as an embedded component, within the full display. And for the Primo, the solution to allow this embedded viewer will be using a mashup solution, same as we are doing for the Primo Alma mashup. So for the Primo VE, it's embedded, and this could be advantage for customization. But both services allowing us now the ability to display the digital viewer, the Alma digital viewer within the full display. And this is what I wanted to share with you. Next is the view it from our institution. User now, same as we are providing for the Get It ability to have information from other institution in the Get It, we are now adding to the View It the option to see electronic, to let the user see electronic resources and the coverage for them from other institution. We are only providing it as an info, not as a way to real access. But this was requested by the customers to allow if a user is nearby and know that there is a coverage in nearby, it can serve that. So what we added, as you can see below, we added below the view online, we added the online services here. Once I'm clicking on that, I will be able to see what other institution have coverage, and drill down into the institution. I will be able to see the coverage that this institution have, so I can choose whether to go nearby or call a friend and access the material and have access to the material with the coverage that I want. So In order to activate that, there is a flag in the view configuration to set that. This is coming in the March release for Primo VE and raised in the Ideas Exchange. So this is a view it from other institution. I can share that in the next quarter, we are planning to view it from other campuses in the same concept. Okay, last things that I wanted to mention for the Primo VE is the more flexibility to custom a search scope that is relevant for course. So far, we had the ability to define search scope for course based on the field has course. Now the new capability is to also define a search scope using the course code with a manipulation. So I can have all of the courses that are starting with music as a custom as a search scope, as a dedicated search scope. Last additional thing to note is we added to the user area ability to go and log in to Webhook. We are planning to optimize the way we are also in the future optimize the way the export to Webhook is working to have it a silent export, not as today. So this is just another thing on the way to improve the work with the Webhook citation manager. So clicking here, so every customer that have the action export to Webhook will also out of the box will have this one. If you want to hide it, you can do that by customization. This is being released in the Primo VE for both Primo and Primo VE in February release. Now, so far I finished coverage all of the items that I wanted to share, all the things that I wanted to share about the release. And as part of the 2020, we also, starting the 2020, we also want to put on the slide all the information in this slide about the CDI that is coming starting February. So you can find here all of the information about the central discovery index. You can register to the upcoming webinar here. And you need more information that you want to know, you can email the CDI info and know about your rollout on your migration plan to the CDI to get more information about that. And last, before we are going into the questions, what is coming in the next quarter is more enhancement. So we will have the ability to enhance the sticky facet, making them more visible, allowing the user to remember their active filters, more easily remember the active filter and increase the usability of that feature. We also have another enhancement to efficient the workflow of the delete and reload pipe. So no manual interruption will be done. You can schedule a delete or reload pipe with no manual interfere. We will also have the Fairbear boosting, the ability to choose how to prefer the record in the Fairbear by the date, for instance. So it's coming for both Primo and Primo VE. As I mentioned, the next quarter is going to be with the upgrade to the OBI 12, starting planning it for Primo customer. Primo VE customers will start rollout starting of March in a gradual way. We also deliver the plan for the Primo customer to better plan that. And in the Primo VE, we expect to have the feature of the view it from other campuses. And more to come. So I think that I cover most of the things that I wanted to share with you. Thank you for joining the session.